Lesson 3 covers subtracting polynomials. Today's lesson is pretty comparable to addition with polynomials. The only difference is today that you're subtracting some type of polynomial, and if you see this minus sign here and you have that set of parentheses, what has to happen is you need to distribute that negative sign. So draw those arrows to represent distribution. So when I distribute it, I get negative x. Negative x, combine those like terms, so I drop it down under below 7x. There's the like term. Distribute your negative sign into 2, that becomes negative 2, which we would put below 6. Working down our paper, we'll carry out the operation, and we get 6x plus 4. Example 2, again, we're going to be subtracting two binomials here. So we'll start off by distributing our negative sign. Negative into a negative x squared gives us positive x squared, and negative into a positive 1 would give us negative 1. Go ahead, work down the paper, and we get negative 3x squared plus 4. Example 3, we're going to subtract by a trinomial here. So again, we'll start off with distributing the negative sign. Following our distribution, we'd get a negative 2x squared plus x plus 3. And again, our like terms are stacked and aligned. Combining like terms, we would get 3x squared, take away 2x squared gives us x squared. 4x plus x is 5x, and negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. Example 4, you'll have an extra step here. You're subtracting actually a trinomial from a trinomial, and then you need to subtract by a binomial. So kind of break things down and take one part at a time. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to subtract this trinomial here first, and then we'll align it to the like terms from that first trinomial. So we'll start off by distributing the negative sign. With our distribution of the negative sign, we get negative 6x squared minus 3x plus 2. Go ahead and solve the problem right there when you're subtracting those two trinomials. Combining the like terms from the subtraction, we get negative 2x squared plus 2x plus 4. You're not finished here. You need to go ahead and subtract by this binomial, 4x minus 3. So again, what we'll need to do is subtract. So we need to distribute the negative sign again. Following the distribution of the negative sign, we get negative 4x plus 3. And again, stack those like terms and solve. And we get negative 2x squared minus 2x plus 7 after combining the like terms. Example 5, two model tugboats flow down a river at the same time. The distance in meters that each boat travels is given by 4t squared plus 4t, 14t, and 3t squared plus 32t. T equals the time in seconds. How far apart are the boats after 20 seconds? Step 1 asks you to write an expression to represent the difference in distances. So if you're going to represent a difference is subtraction. So we're going to be subtracting two binomials here. We'll take the first binomial and subtract by the second binomial. So here would be our expression in part 5, step 1. Second step, they're going to go ahead and have you evaluate the expression for a time of 20 seconds. So you're going to figure out that distance after 20 seconds. Before I put in 20 in for t time, I'm going to go ahead and evaluate the expression by subtracting the two binomials first. So what I'll need to do is distribute that negative sign into the second binomial here. So here's the negative sign. We'll distribute first. Following our distribution, we would get negative 3t squared minus 32t. Again, the like terms are stacked, so we'll go ahead and work down the paper here, giving us t squared minus 18t. Now you're going to evaluate this expression here for a time of 20 seconds. 20 seconds will be substituted in for t. There's our substitution taking place. Now you just need to go ahead and follow through with the computation. 20 squared is going to give you 400, and then the 18 times 20 is going to give you 360. So now we have 400 take away 360, giving us 40. And remember, 40 is talking about the distance, because if you look back in the question, it said these two binomials represent the distance, and then we needed to find the distance of the boats between each other after 20 seconds. So after we did our subtraction to figure out the distance, we substituted in 20, and we found out that the boats were 40 meters apart after 20 seconds. This will conclude Lesson 3, Subtracting Polynomials.